Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Arrow, and we are getting so much closer to the end. Really excited to see where this ends, but really not excited to see the show end and then have that whole summer hiatus. But there aren't any more hiatuses until the last episode, which is good, because we did have that week hiatus from last week. But this episode is called Under the Hood. So, do we find out who maybe knows Oliver's secret, maybe someone that we thought didn't know Oliver's secret, or does this episode have another meaning? So this episode really, I think, doesn't really have that a lot of reveals, but it builds a lot up for upcoming episodes. I'm going to go character by character, but most of all in this episode, we just get to see Slade. He's still being badass. He's still trying to figure out how to get everyone, all those prisoners, to have Mirakuru in them. So that's pretty much the episode with Slade. But let's go character by character, and then I'll explain like what I liked about the character. I think that's a little bit better with this episode, because there's not too much in the story that totally happened, but it's definitely development more for the characters in this episode. So yeah, we do get to see some Flash characters here. Caitlin Snow and Cisco, who's going to be Vibe. I think Caitlin Snow is going to be Killer Frost. So I think that's interesting because Caitlin Snow honestly seemed like a good person. So it's going to be interesting to see how she turns into a villain for Flash, or maybe they'll go a different direction for her character. And it's played by Danielle Panabaker. So if you're like a Disney fan, like she was in a lot of those movies. So I do know her as an actress growing up. And I think she could play a really cool Caitlin Snow. So I'm excited to see her in the Flash show. But honestly, wanted to see a little bit more with them. There were more cameos than anything just referencing the Flash. I thought they would build up a little bit more of their character. But at least you get to see their personalities. And I'm really excited to see, especially Cisco. I think he was really came out with this episode. You saw his personality. You know, Killer Frost / Caitlin Snow is like pretty generic. But I thought Cisco had some good personality in this episode. So applause to that. Very excited for the Flash show. And they even reference Iris and saying, yeah, Flash is, you know, over you, or, you know, Barry's over you, Felicity, because he's kind of has a thing for Iris, even though he's in a coma. So, obviously, we know as comic book fans, Iris is the soulmate for Barry, so we'll see how that goes in the Flash show. And, of course, it wouldn't work if Felicity's an Arrow anyways. So, it's interesting to at least see Barry is being referenced for people that might not know the pilot's happening. Some more casual viewers. So in this episode, we do get to see a lot of progression. You know, I heard the writers say this is an episode where it defines who's under the hood. Is it really Oliver? Is it Arrow? Who truly is this character? And I think Quentin put it in really cool words. It's kind of Batman ripoff, but Quentin's like, I don't want to know who's under the hood. He's a symbol, and you know, I don't want to know that he's a person. And I really like that because I think Quentin's always been a character that's supposed to be a Commissioner Gordon. You know, I don't want to say obviously he's not Commissioner Gordon, but he's definitely referenced from Commissioner Gordon. I think he's so much alike James Gordon. So him saying that just, you know, brings you back to Commissioner Gordon and what he would say, because he has said that before. So I do think that's interesting, and that Quentin really will save his daughter's identity, because he does know Sarah is the Black Canary. So going into that, we do see that, again, Arrow is more a symbol, and Laurel's sneaking in, trying to figure out who is the Arrow, because Slade told Laurel's like, yeah, Oliver's the Arrow. She's like, oh, you know, he telling the truth. And the writers were right. They go in a direction that I didn't expect. And I think Laurel, for the past couple episodes, has been really interesting. And probably the smartest character here. Most characters would play stupid, play dumb, just say, oh no, it's not Oliver. Like, I'm going back to Revenge. I'm going to just reference this really quickly. Like when Charlotte, again, this is a really quick reference. When Charlotte heard that Emily was David Clark's daughter. She's like, oh, really? Well, that's not true. But I think with this, they don't play with the fans. They're just like, yeah, Laurel knows now, but it's a choice of telling Oliver. And she was going to tell Oliver until she talk to her father, saying, you know what, he has a life, he's suffering, I don't think you need to know who he is. So I like that they're playing kind of like a Smallville, because Lois didn't tell Clark for a while. They're kind of playing that card, but it works for Laurel's character, because it just shows she's a stronger character now. Again, she was a really annoying character in the beginning of the season, especially season 1, and I think she's building up to be a more interesting character, and I really like the approach of her here, and she's becoming really likable, maybe going into that Black Canary status whenever she does. So I really like that she also put together pieces with Sarah. Again, most shows would just be like, oh yeah, that's not my sister, you know. She really put together pieces very quickly, followed them. I think they did a great job with Laurel's arc right now. Will she tell Oliver by the end of the season? Yeah, I think so. I don't know if she'll be part of the Arrow team, but I think she will tell Oliver, or honestly work on her own vigilante stuff. I think she might even work by herself for a little while, before she even tells Oliver and Sarah. Who do I think she'll tell first? Sarah. I honestly think she'll even just say, yeah, I just know you're Sarah. I don't know who the Arrow is. I think they might just go that direction. Because Sarah, I mean, her secret identity is less of a secret identity, I think, because she doesn't really know as many people. And also Quentin already knows that Sarah is Black Canary. So I see them going more that direction. I really can't wait to see that interaction. I'm really excited for that. So Laurel was great in this episode. Felicity had some really hilarious moments, especially in the beginning of the episode. So, great comedic relief for Felicity, and her actually going in the field was great in this episode. Let's talk about Isabella. Isabella, she's taking over the company, and she gets shot in the end, and I really did like that. Now she has the Mirakuru in her, so she's just gonna go more batshit crazy. But they are going a little bit more of the Isabella route from the comics, because Isabella did have a relationship with Robert Queen. They did that in the show. So I don't know if it's going to be Rose. I don't. I saw an interview, or I think someone said that might not be Rose. I want it to be Rose, but I don't know if it's going to work now. Maybe they'll just have Rose as a middle name, just referencing, like they do with Thea, saying that obviously Thea's not near and dear to him, but maybe they'll do that with Rose. But I kind of like the daughter thing, so I don't know what I feel with Isabella Rasputin, but at least she's going to be Ravager, and I'm really excited to see that. Her be alive, and I think it's going to be crazy, so really looking forward to that. So let's talk about Thea, because I feel like that's the last person we'll talk about in this episode. Really like Thea here. Again, I don't think the writers fools with the fans at all. There's a lot of shows, reference Revenge, I can reference a lot of shows that just fool the fans. Don't talk about reveals. I'm going to say that Revenge is great at that. They don't talk about reveals. But yeah, for this show, they really talk about the reveals and go into the character. And I think with Thea, they did this so well. Her interaction with Oliver in this episode, just talking about her being the daughter of Malcolm Merlyn and having a crush on Tommy, I thought was great that they referenced that, and how crazy that is. And, Thea's going in this, again, downward spiral that we saw a little bit in the first season, but I think it's being handled really well. Like I've been saying about Thea, I don't think she's a whiny character. I think she's an understandable, realistic character. And I think they're doing this well, and I think she's going to be a real not powerful character, but a real important character for these next couple episodes, especially the next episode with Roy. So let's talk about Roy. But yeah, the Thea thing I thought was great. I think we could have used a little bit more Thea, but you understand her, and I think that's just going to be building up to whatever direction they bring her, either into the speedy direction or working with Malcolm Merlyn. Who knows? It could be a villainous direction or a hero direction. So we also get Roy. He is hanging on to life because Slade used him for the Mirakuru. So now we have to see, will the Arrow team be able to save him? And it seems the next episode is called Seeing Red, and it's going to be Roy just actually having this rage from the Mirakuru, and maybe it's just taking over him now. And it seems like Thea is going to be a main factor. She's what I loved about Thea in the last episodes, is that she keeps saying, tell me, I want to help you. And it seems like with this episode, she's going to get into the action because she wants to help Roy. So really excited about that. It seems like she'll find out about Roy being with the Mirakuru. Will she find out about Oliver? I think it definitely is possible. Again, there's supposed to be more than one person that finds out. We already have Laurel that found out, and Thea, again, I think it'd be perfect for Thea to find out, because I think she's a little bit too much of a background character that has a lot of potential. So really looking forward to this next episode, because I think it's going to be a big one. So going back to this, was this a big episode? I liked it. I thought it was very solid, but it's more of a build-up character development episode, and I loved it for that. So I'm going to give it 4 stars. I thought it was very, very solid, and I think this is a great build-up. I think for character development, it did really well. We had some Flash references. I thought this was a very solid episode of Arrow, and I'm just so excited to see these next 4 episodes. So please tell me in the comments below what you thought. What characters did you enjoy? Please tell me what direction you think all these characters are going to go in for the finale. Yeah, so please tell me in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed. Can't wait for Arrow next week. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the Rant Situations. And don't forget to like my Facebook page. And I'll see you guys later. And of course, I'll have another review for Arrow next week. Bye.